Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another Riker West tournament round. This is the second Open at the Trails. I played an event at the Trails earlier this year, and I got a win. So, hole one is a 274-foot, slightly downhill par 3. I'm going to be throwing this S-Line P3X a lot today. I think here I tried to throw the hyzer up the right side, and my aiming point was just off. A little bit off. I was compensating for maybe pulling it into a tree that's near the tee pad and threw it straight. Left us with a relatively simple up and down. I've gotten really confident with these jump putt approaches, a little bit of anhyzer to flat, and I put it just behind the pin here. Allows us to tap in for a par to start the day. And I know that the Trails is a course where I should just be looking for par and better at every single hole. There should not be a necessary bogey out here at all. So on hole 2, I'm throwing the same P3X here up this left gap. And I thought this was a pretty good shot. It just hit the tiniest little tree, and it kicked us back, fortunately, so we are not OB. It's left us with a tough scramble right here. I'm going to throw my tempo just on a little forehand here. I need it high on anhyzer, and I get it through enough. It fades out a little bit. It's going to leave us about a 20-ish footer. Not too bad here. Going to be the first actual putt of the day here. Hit the right side, almost goes through, but it catches on the backside. Not a bad putt at all right there. So hole 3, throwing the same P3X. Again, I'm going to be throwing this a lot today. Just want to throw a soft, pushy hyzer up the right side, and I get some perfect power control here. Gets a low skip forward, and this leaves us at about 10 to 15 feet right here, looking straight at OB, which is not that good. But can it left side. There is a really good hole, and our first birdie of the round. Now we switch to a different P3X for hole 4. Just want to throw a high hyzer that stalls on the right side and gets left. This is the Alloy P3X, the Gannon Burr run. And I thought I threw this really good, and it turned out to be the slightest bit inside. Hit on the line of trees in the middle, unfortunately. But I'm left here able to line up a longer circle 2-putt that potentially I could give a bid at. And I thought this was a really good bid. Had a chance. It just held over a little bit too long. And we end up with the par on hole 4. And 1 through 4 does not have the best feeling at this course at all. I'm looking at this course really for maybe about 4 down. That was my goal previously. Going to throw a standstill here because of the weird T-pad. It's slightly downhill. So I should just throw a standstill scepter. Try saying that 5 times fast, but we're left with a longer putt. See if I can just give a bid at it, and I just leave it short. Leaves us behind a tree for a weird putt here for the par. I'd say about 15. It's not that bad of a putt, and we can it. Now we're 1 through 5. Stepping up to hole 6, this was in a position that I had not played in in a few years, honestly, because I've only played this course in tournament play, really. So I'm going to throw the S-Line P3X up the right side. Just want another pushy hyzer. And I give it the perfect amount of height here. It gets a hit off a root, but it keeps on going forward. So gets us into an open position for an open putt here. And I'd say we are left here 25, 30, edge of circle-ish putt here. And one that I know I can make. Give some body English right there. It goes in low left, and there's a great birdie and a great putt. Hole 7, gonna go to the Luna for the first time today. Just want to throw a pushy hyzer. Actually, not really a pushy hyzer as much. It's really just a flip up to flat. And it actually flips to turn, surprisingly, and then just falls and fades. So not a bad shot at all. I was kind of worried about being behind this tree. I was able to use the piece of paper rule to get left enough to have an inline putt here. About 15-ish, and make it. And there is back-to-back birdies. Starting to feel like I'm getting on a little bit of a train here. Hole 8 is weird. I throw my tempo, and I thought that this could have been safe. There's a property line on the right side that plays as OB, and unfortunately, I got a pretty bad amount of ground play, so we went OB right at that sign there. It leaves us with a inline putt though, and we can it for the par. That hole is one where I really want to get the birdie though, because we go into hole 9, which is the longest hole on the course. I'd say instead of 357, it may be a little bit longer, closer to maybe 380 to 400. But I just want to throw a big hyzer here. That's all I want. So it's really Esplin Emperor. Maybe not enough height there. It is low. It's coming in on hyzer. And watch this thing go. It shoots left. It shoots into, I think, hole 4's green. This was a position that I didn't even think I could get. But I do have a little bit of a look here. It's a putt that needs to start on a little bit of anhyzer, and then it just kind of falls and fades after going a little bit to the right. Thought I played that really well. It just does not get back in time. So we're tapping in a par on hole 9, and I really wanted to get the birdie here, as I know it's a hole on the course that I should get. Here's hole 10, and the story about hole 10 today is in a position that I've never played, and I was also playing this in the first round as a par 3. I did not know it was a par 4. Just goes straight and then goes really, really to the left off this pathway through the glacier. If this glacier was maybe another foot or two to the right, we could have probably given ourselves an inside the circle look due to the skip. And yeah, so I was playing this putt as par 3. So I was focused on making this here and not giving like a soft bid or anything. And I just left it completely left. And on this putt on the backside, I assumed I was putting for par. And at this point, I was like, we're on the back 9. We haven't had a bogey yet. Let's go for the bogey-free round as much as possible. And it took me a little bit of time to get to a putt that I was somewhat comfortable with. I had a straddle, which I'm not comfortable with at all normally. So we're just trying to line up a straddle, try to keep the bogey-free round alive. I'd say about 20, and we can at dead center with the straddle. We go on to the island hole, hole 11. It's a short hole. I'm going to play a little tempo flex forehand to slow the disc down, and you just got to come to rest inside the island. And it does fade out a little bit early. The grass is really grabby on the right side, so we stay inside the island. And we are left with a longer putt here. I'd say it's in that edge of circle range. It's a tough putt, looking straight towards the OB if we don't hit the basket here. So, coming off of a longer missed putt, we hit middle left, and it catches really well, and we get another birdie to 5 down now. So, hole 12 is the reason why I got this tempo in the first place, is because I was throwing my zone here, and it was flipping over to the left side, which is OB. And on this, I just completely do not give it a chance to go to the green. We are left behind this little group of trees right here, and we need like a high anhyzer putt. To me, there's no real reason in running this. There's OB right behind the basket. I give this a little bit too much anhyzer, which it's not bad. It's not a hard putt at all. As you can see, all the OB that is right next to the basket right there. But we're able to really tap in a par right there. Stay at 5 down, going to hole 13. It's another position that I have not played in a long time. Normally it's to the right. At least the last tournament I played here, it was to the right. Now it's more straight. And first thing I see here, instead of the forehand, was a Luna turnover. It's a shot shape that I've gotten a lot better at. I leave this a little bit left, and it gets some really, really good ground play forward and a little bit to the right. I was asking for a read about the putt right here, but yeah, about 25 feet here. And the putt I know I should make here. And for some reason, I just leave it high. I leave it up, and that doesn't feel good. I thought I threw a pretty decent shot for that, and I thought I was going to be able to lean on my putting today, and just for some reason, that putt just fell off. Tap in for the par, stay at 5 down. Hole 14, I was kind of confused on the position of the basket. I knew it was to the left, but I thought it was up this left gap instead of playing in between the two gaps. There's a right gap and a left gap. If you see that line of trees in the middle, that is more along the lines of where the basket is. So I throw my chariot here. I thought I threw this really good, and it gets kicked down into the right, which does leave us in the line of the basket. And this is when I realized that I'm going to have to change my play for the next round. But this is a potential for a long putt here. Just need to have one that goes straight. Not high enough, unfortunately. It's really tough to give that a bid. It does leave us right next to the basket for a tap-in par. So we go to hole 15, which is a release point hole and a release point hole only, essentially. Just want to pump it into that hill and play for some ground play, and you just got to hit the gap. Finally going back to the S-Line P3X, which I was throwing really, really well today. And I thought this was going to be good. Going to fade into that tree on the left. It went around the tree and then got more left, unfortunately. So it left us with this weird putt with the tree in the way. It cuts off a little bit of the basket. So I'd say it's weird, but middle of the circle and just kind of pull it into the tree, unfortunately. Able to tap into the par. And we go to hole 16. And it was in a position that I had never seen before. This was probably not 218. That's just what PDGA said. This was probably along the lines of 300, I assume. Because I was able to throw a full flex forehand with my Red Emperor and still be just past pin high. This did go deep. That was just the first thing I saw was that flex forehand. And yeah, we're left deep of the basket. Trying to go just left of this tree. Trying to visualize the circle 2 here. Again, left really, really left and low on this putt. Did not give it a chance. So tapping in another par here. And we are only 2 holes away from a bogey-free round in a tournament. That's what I'm really focused on right now. First thing I see on hole 17 is my more stable Emperor forehand, and I just completely leave it on hyzer. The power of my forehand has gone down a little bit recently. I just have not been able to get as much pop as I have before. So we are left with this awkward little putt here. It's like slide Anheuser up the left side, I believe. And I just pitch it up. Not able to give it a bid. Put it right under the basket. It leaves us 1 hole away from bogey free. Hole 18... It's just a sawed-off forehand or a really sharp flex line backhand. Just throwing my scepter, and I leave it so sawed off. I thought this had a chance at the beginning, and it just kept on fading really hard. Did not leave this wide enough. But we are left with an uphill putt to potentially go 6 down here. This is a putt that I'm comfortable giving a bid at. I thought I got it in, but we will tap in for a first bogey-free round ever in tournament play. I'll go ahead and say this rated absolutely horrendously. 919 for 5 down was ridiculous, but I'll see you in round 2.